So do you know what was really strange about Google I/O? That was the lack of gaming related stuff really. I mean, it was almost blink and you'll miss it. So essentially what they've done is announce that they're going to keep up with Apple, and that's about it really. They've announced that we will be seeing many of the same next generation mobile effects, shaders and so on that Apple have already announced, and that will be coming across to Android as well. Now they've been working with their GPU partners here, people like Qualcomm, people like MediaTek, and more crucially from this conference seems to be Nvidia and their K1 technology. Nvidia's got a lot of mentions this year, I mean proportionally more than they've had any other year. It seems to me that certainly these new next generation effects for developers are primarily, at least in the short term, going to be available from Nvidia first. So if it's a K1 chip, then you will be getting these new features available for development. Now they're really pushing the idea here that they're coming up to console quality graphics. I'm not quite so convinced at this stage that we are hitting anything close to Xbox 360 or PS3 quality graphics. We're getting close, but not quite close enough. Now, what's really interesting here is Nvidia have kind of been locked out of the next-gen console market anyway. AMD obviously is serving Sony and Microsoft there very well, and it always made me wonder why they didn't, Nvidia, fight harder for that console market. Actually now we know why. They were going to run an end run essentially around traditional consoles and produce a chip, the K1, that they would be putting into mobile devices. If you think about it, how many games consoles are going to be sold every year versus how many mobile devices are going to be sold every year when you look at the complete suite. So you're talking smartphones, tablets, TVs with Android TV, and even the Android car platform. Now, when you look at Nvidia being embedded into all those devices, suddenly it makes the maybe 10 to 15 million units of next-gen consoles look like, well, a waste of anybody's time. They could be talking here hundreds of millions of K1 chips potentially being used. Now the interesting thing here is that Nvidia kept getting mentioned almost like the headline act of graphics on Android this time round. The likes of Qualcomm, MediaTek and so on were kind of just logos floating on a screen, but they weren't represented as being part of this new wave of 3D gaming on mobile. It makes me think that potentially they don't actually have an answer to that right now, that for all intents and purposes Nvidia are going to own this next 12-month period, potentially even slightly beyond the next 12-month period as well. It takes time to ramp up that silicon if you're another company. So overall I think things are looking very bright for Nvidia in the mobile space, and for Android by extension. However, obviously when we only have one major partner able to hit that graphics barrier, as it were, there is the potential that Nvidia becomes, well, synonymous with mobile 3D gaming at the expense of many other partners out there who could well be capable of delivering better quality GPUs, for instance lower power, lower heat. So what do you think? Is this going to be a major boost for Nvidia and the Android platform? Does it encourage you to go out and pick up a K1 equipped Android device for the next generation of Android gaming? Or are you a little bit more on the fence and wishing Qualcomm and the others would hurry up and get up-to-date GPUs out there? Let us know in the comments, and do please like and subscribe.